Morning, Ted.
Morning, Stan. What are we trying to solve today?
Only music.
That's all? Nothing ambitious then?
Well, we've all listened to music. Most of us probably couldn't imagine life without it. But here's something I've been wondering. What actually is it?
That's easy. Songs, symphonies, concerts, records, Spotify playlists.
No, those are examples of music. I'm asking what music actually is.
All right then. Organized sound.
That's the usual answer, and technically it's a reasonable one. But I'm not convinced it's the whole story.
Why not?
Imagine Beethoven writes a symphony. He finishes it, puts the manuscript in a drawer, and nobody ever performs it. Nobody ever hears it. Has music happened?
Well, the notes exist.
Do they? Or do instructions for making sounds exist? Ink on paper isn't actually making any sound.
No.
And a recording sitting on a hard drive isn't making any sound either.
Not until you press play.
Exactly. So, let's press play. Now the loudspeakers move, the air vibrates, sound waves reach the room. Is that music?
Surely it is now.
What if nobody's there? An empty room, speakers playing away to themselves, sound waves bouncing off the furniture. Is there music in the room? Or just organized vibration?
So you're saying music needs someone to hear it?
Actually, I think it needs someone to listen to it.
Isn't that the same thing?
I'm not sure it is. You can hear something without really listening to it.
Fair point. I hear you talking most mornings.
Very funny.
Carry on.
Composer David Chesworth once said that for him, the listener is the most important person in the whole transaction. And conductor Mark Wigglesworth put it even more directly. Music is an act of communication. Without anyone listening, it doesn't exist.
That's quite a statement.
It is, because it means the composer doesn't actually finish the music.
Who does?
You do.
Me?
The listener. The composer creates something, a performer might play it, a recording might preserve it, but none of that determines what the music finally becomes.
Because the listener brings something to it.
Exactly. Memories, mood, experience, expectations, imagination. Two people can listen to exactly the same recording and experience completely different emotions.
One hears nostalgia.
Another hears sadness.
Someone else hears hope.
Yes, the sound hasn't changed. It's the listener that's changed.
So the meaning isn't hardwired into the sound?
Not entirely. The composer creates the sound, probably with an intention of one particular meaning, but the listener creates their own meaning, and it's the creation of that meaning that makes music so powerful. That's the magic of music.
So listening is a creative act?
I think it is. Music is co-created. The artist begins it, the listener completes it.
What about lyrics? Surely the songwriter decides what the words mean.
Up to a point, but Michael Stipe has made an interesting observation about that. The songwriter may have one particular interpretation, but once those words reach somebody else, they can mean something completely different.
I suppose we've all done that. Heard a line in a song and thought, that's about me.
Exactly. Even though the person who wrote it has never met you.
And might have been writing about something completely different.
Yes, but that doesn't necessarily make your interpretation wrong. Once a song is released, the writer can't control where it goes inside somebody else's head.
That's rather wonderful.
I think so, but it creates a problem.
There's always a problem.
If music depends upon a listener, and if the listener has to engage with it to complete it, then music depends upon attention.
Right.
And attention is becoming increasingly in short supply.
I see where you're going with this.
Think about how much music surrounds us now. We probably have access to more recorded music than anybody at any previous point in history. Almost anything you want to hear is only seconds away.
Which is great.
It is great, but there's a strange paradox. The more music we've surrounded ourselves with, the less time we seem to spend actually listening to it.
Maybe hearing it.
We might hear it, but not listen to it. There's a difference.
So what's happened?
The sounds that can make music have become part of the background to almost everything else we do. We listen while we're working, while we're cooking, driving, walking, answering emails, scrolling through our phones.
You're making multitasking sound like a crime.
Not at all. I do it myself. There's nothing wrong with having music on in the background, but it's worth asking what happens to the music when that's the only way we experience it.
Meaning?
If 90% of your attention is on an email and 10% is on the song, are you really listening to the song?
Probably not.
You're hearing it, you might notice the beat, recognize the chorus, perhaps hum along, but a lot of what is actually happening in the music simply passes by, and sometimes we might not even be conscious of it even being there.
So it becomes background.
Yes, something filling the silence.
And if your original argument is right, that's quite significant.
Because if music only fully exists when somebody gives it their attention, then it doesn't become music at all.
That's quite provocative. It suggests that music is disappearing from our lives.
It is. Think about the difference between hearing a song and listening to a song. Listening with nothing else demanding your attention, just the music.
And suddenly you notice things.
Yes, a guitar part you've never noticed before, a change in harmony, a tiny pause before the chorus, the way a singer changes the color of a word, a lyric that you've heard 20 times but suddenly means something you've not previously thought of.
No change in the sound.
No, the difference is in the listener. Active listening makes music the main event. Passive listening makes it the accompaniment to another event.
So you think we used to listen more carefully?
Possibly, because there was less to distract us. The way we consume music has certainly changed. There was a time when putting on a record was an activity. You chose the album, put it on, sat down, looked at the sleeve, and listened. Then we talked about it with our friends and went back and listened again.
We certainly did.
And our relationship with music can change as we get older as well. People become busy, work, family, responsibilities, stress, limited time. Which raises another question. How much attention does music need before it can reveal itself?
Some songs hit you immediately.
Of course, but others don't. Some of the music that matters most to us takes time. You have to learn its shape, understand its language. Notice how one section connects to another.
Almost like getting to know somebody.
That's a good analogy. First impressions matter, but they aren't the whole relationship.
So if we constantly skip, we may never get to experience the act of music.
Exactly. Music isn't just sound, it's an interaction, a collaboration between what is made and what is received. It only fully exists in that moment of connection, when someone stops, pays attention, and lets it in.
In a world where music is constant, that moment is easy to lose.
Yes, for many of us, it is easy to lose.
Well, perhaps we should stop talking about it and actually listen to some.
Now that is a good idea.
What have you got?
The City of Lights.
Mallory Vice, by any chance?
Who else?
And what's it about?
Well, that's for each of us to decide.
Good point. Right then. No emails, no scrolling.
None of that. Just listening.
It's a beautiful day in the city of lights. People and places, night after night. They're painting their dreams in a square by a church. Impressions of life, that's what they search. If there was a place you would have chosen to be, would you have guessed you held the key reflections in time, thoughts in between, but rather a feeling, a scene from a dream. It's a beautiful day in the city of lights, people and places, night after night. They're painting their dreams in a square by a church, impressions of life, that's what they serve. If there was a time you'd rather have been, a mood on a canvas, a part in a scene, reaching for nothing but touching somewhere, a life in a picture. Would you want